The Jealous Woman. Chapter 3, The Rejected Ones. Time passed, and the children grew. Soon, Eva's son became loud and proud. He walked like a prince and behaved like one too. When he wanted something, he demanded it. If he didn't get it, he cried until everyone gave in. The whole household obeyed him, even the servants. His grandmother called him our golden boy. Hannah, on the other hand, was quiet. She helped Ada in the kitchen. She swept the compound and fetched water from the stream. She never complained, even when she was tired. She studied with an old torchlight while others were watching television. When her books got old, she mended them with thread and glue. But no matter how good Hannah was, she was treated like she did not matter. If Son needed new school shoes, he was given 3 pairs. If Hannah needed just one, they would say, let her wear her old ones. When Son did something wrong, it was called a mistake. When Hannah made a small error, Eva would shout at her and say, "This is why girls are useless." Even Mr. Fowler, who once smiled at Hannah, now paid her little attention. His eyes followed Son everywhere. He was already planning which of his farmlands to hand over to him one day. But Ada saw everything. And though her heart broke, she didn't let it show. Every night, she held Hannah and prayed, "Lord, lift my daughter up. Let those who rejected us one day kneel before her." Then one rainy season, things changed. There was a family meeting. Eva had called her relatives. She stood up before everyone and said, "This house is too small. We need more peace. Ada and her daughter must leave." Ada looked up in shock. "What did we do?" she asked, her voice shaking. "You are in our way," Eva replied sharply. "You bring no value. And your daughter? A girl cannot carry the family name." Mr. Fowler said nothing. He looked away as if he had not heard. The same man who once promised Ada eternal love now sat like a stone. The next morning, Ada's things were packed and placed outside. Hannah held her mother's wrapper tightly, confused and scared. It was early in the morning, and the rain had just stopped. The ground was still wet. Ada looked at the house one last time. The house she had helped build with her hands and her heart. Then she turned away. They walked through the village slowly. People whispered. Some looked at them with pity, others with judgment. They finally found a small one-room house near the market, a tiny space behind an old carpenter's workshop. It had a cracked wall, no running water, and a leaking roof. But it was all they could afford. Still, Ada did not cry. She began to work, washing clothes for people, selling foodstuffs, and cleaning houses. Every naira she earned went into Hannah's education. Even when she was sick or tired, she smiled and said, "As long as you go to school, my suffering is not in vain." And Hannah worked just as hard. She studied every night. She swept the classroom before school started. She read her books again and again until she knew every word by heart. When exams came, she passed with flying colors. She became the best in her school, sharp, respectful, and full of wisdom. Her teachers called her the star girl. After her final exams, something special happened. She received a scholarship letter. She had been chosen by the government to study medicine and surgery in one of the best universities in the country. Ada held the letter in her hands and cried for the first time in many months, not because she was sad, but because God had answered her prayers. She danced in front of the small house. Neighbors came to celebrate with her. The girl they threw away is now a rising light. Meanwhile, back in Mr. Fowler's house, things were not as bright. Some claimed he was in university too, but he was not. He had dropped out in his 2nd year. He used the school fees to go to clubs, buy expensive clothes, and gamble. He made fake school reports and showed them to his parents. Eva believed every word. My son will become a lawyer, she told the market women proudly. But at night, Son was walking with dangerous people. People who held guns and robbed houses. He was sinking deeper, but no one noticed. Back in her small house, Ade watched her daughter pack for university. She gave her a small bag with 2 wrappers, a Bible, and a handsome purse with her school ID card. I may not be able to visit you, Ade said, but my prayers will walk with you every day. And with a hug and a heavy heart, she waved goodbye to the little girl who had become her pride. What do you think would be the end of Mr. Fowler and his second wife Eva? Let's see through the journey.